Hi everyone, welcome to the third day of Bookmas. Before I start on the main video, let me just preface this real quick. So when I started this project of recording these Bookmas videos, I had planned on recording all of them a couple weeks ahead of time and having them all ready, to go. And then I got really sick. And we're talking about a cold that turned into pink eye, that turned into a sinus infection, and it was a lot of sickness. I'm finally on the mend, but obviously I'm sounding a little rough. And I was gonna just scrap the whole thing because I'd only had a couple videos recorded, but I realized that if I decided not to do this and I wanted to do it in January, and just put up my end of year or my goals for next year in January, then I probably wouldn't do it based on last year. And so I'm just going through with it. And so I'm going to sound rough the next couple of videos, but hopefully as I get better, I'll start to sound better. So sorry, this will be a short one today, so you shouldn't have to listen to me for too long sounding like this, but every day I'm getting better. So in a couple of days, I'll probably sound more normal. And so now we're kind of entering in the time where the next three, we're going to be talking about series I want to focus on in 2023. If you watched my first day of Bookmas, I said that that was one of my goals, was to really focus on reading series in the new year. And part of that was because I just really have not been doing that lately. Like last year, I made this goal, but then I only read 9 books from my continuing series list. And I only finished 2 series overall. So it was just, I did not do a good job. And, I was thinking do I really want to continue making this a goal? And I do, because when I think about it, I miss having favorite series that I love the characters and I could just really come back to these characters and worlds and really love them. And I haven't had a favorite in a long time. And I need that in hard times. So in 2020, I ended up stopping a lot of my reading and reread a lot of my favorite series, and that was really comforting for me. But now I've reread all of those and I have no new comfort series to return to. So I'd like to spend this year finishing some series and hopefully having some characters and worlds that I can return to in the future when I'm having a hard time. This is not a comprehensive list of all of the series that I am in the middle of. I just picked 10 that I think I could finish this year. And then I have 4 more that I have technically started, but I'm going to restart. So it's just 14 series overall. If I were to finish all of these, it would be a total of 32 and a half. So that's a novella, 32 books in a novella read, which is a small portion of the amount of books that I read in a year, that I really think I should be able to do this. I put this list in order from the ones I only have 1 book in up to the most books. So series I only have 1 book left in. I have The War I Finally Won, which is the second in this duology, and I just read the first one a couple months ago and really liked it, so that'll be an easy one to knock out. I have The Beauty of Darkness, which is the last book in the Remnant Chronicles, so that's just 1 more book in this fantasy young adult series. I have The Last Town by Blake Crouch, which is the last book in the Wayward Pines trilogy. And I actually, when I wrote this list, I had 2 books left, but I just finished the second book this week. And so this one I'll probably read pretty soon, because it's kind of one of those series that you kind of want to read more closer together because of their cliffhanger endings. So only 1 more left in that one. This next one is the one I have 1.5. So I have a full novel and a novella, and that's the Brother Sinister series. I have The Suffragette Scandal, and then there's a novella that comes to the end, which I think is called Talk Sweetly to Me. I'll put it up if I remember. Yeah, so just 1.5, a novel and a novella, and this is a historical romance series. And I have started this one, but because of being sick, I just really haven't read much of anything. Basically, that Blake Crouch book was the only thing I have read in the last 2 weeks. And so I'm just kind of giving up that I'm going to be reading much before the end of the year. So I will pick this back up in the new year. And then we're moving on to ones I have 2 more books in. So I have The Immortals Quartet, which I have Emperor Mage, and then the last book. I don't remember the names of all the last ones. I just have the next book in the series here. So I have 2 more in this. This is a middle grade or young adult fantasy book that I've really enjoyed the first 2 in. And then we have Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. So I have Thunderhead and The Toll left in this young adult dystopian to read. And then I have another dystopian. I have Sea Swept, and I don't remember what the 3rd book in this Seabound Chronicles is, but this is, I think it would be classified as young adult, maybe adult. I think the main character she might only be 19 or 20, I don't know, but I would kind of consider it young adult dystopian. And then I have The Howl's Moving Castle, like I think these are companion novels. So Castle in the Air is the next one, and then I can't remember what the third one is. So I have 2 more of those left to read. And then moving on to the 2 series that I have 3 more books to read. So I have the Chronicles of Narnia. This time I am reading them in publication order. I think that I never finished them the first time I read them like 10 years or so ago. So I don't think I ever read The Last Battle. But anyways, I'm reading them in publication order, which means the next one I have is The Horse and His Boy, and then I have The Magician's Nephew, and then The Last Battle. So those 3, and these I like to listen on audiobook, so they go pretty fast since they're short. And then the last one that I want to finish is The Wingfeather Saga, North or Be Eaten, and then there's 2 more, which I think are right up here, but yeah. So 3 more books in this one, which is a middle grade fantasy series. And then I have 4 series that I just want to restart because it's been so long since I started them, but I feel like all of these are a series I'm going to really love if I can just like commit and actually finish them. So I want to restart them so I can get into the world again. So the first of that is the Curse Breakers trilogy, which starts with A Curse So Dark and Lonely. This one is a fantasy. This first one is kind of like a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. And then I have the Study series, which the first one is called Poison Study, which I don't own anymore because I had it in mass market paperback, and I thought, well, I'll buy a new one someday. And I'd already read that one, but it's been like 2 years, so I think I'll either read it online or buy a trade paperback version of Poison Study. And then I have the Mistborn series. My goal this year is just to do the first era. So I have read Mistborn, but I want to read that and then read the other 2 in that first era trilogy. And then this one is a 5-book series. This is the Steel and Fire series, and this is a fantasy series that involves dueling, like with swords. And I really enjoyed it. I read the first 3, then didn't read them for like 2 years or 3 years. It might actually be longer. It might have been 4 years ago. I don't know. It's been a while since I picked these up, so I want to start back over at the beginning. But the first couple are short, and then they get longer as they go. So I feel like I can like zoom through the first couple, but there's 5 books in the series. So that is my goal. Those are all of the series that I want to finish. Like I said, it's only 32 books and a novella. Shouldn't be that hard if I actually take time to focus on them throughout the year and finish some series and hopefully find some new favorites that I can return to in the future. Let me know if you have some comfort series that you like to return to over and over again. And hopefully my voice will continue to get better with each day that I get better physically. And I'll see you next time. Bye.